Okay, Corona Diary Day 6. So my day started a little bit more auspiciously. I was very pleased to see that in many of the synagogues in my neighborhood, people were being very careful about having only 10 people per minyan. So whatever the government said, it seems to have had some effect. I was less cheered, however. I was cheered again when I received or I saw on Twitter an urgent call from the Moetzes Gedolei HaTorah in America. This, I guess, is the rabbinic group that is authoritative for most of the ultra-Orthodox world in America, or some of it at least, or a major component of it. And it says within, in light of the serious situation of the spread of coronavirus in our community and in the entire world, with doctors warning and imploring not to gather together in shuls and bati midrashim, even to daven or learn, to pray or learn, that every person should not leave home unless absolutely necessary. Because of the real danger to human life, we implore each person to listen to the direction of the expert medical professionals who are unified in warning about the seriousness of the current situation. Fantastic, right? It goes on, the second paragraph is, however, we must rely on our Father in heaven. We call upon every person who is not ill or weak to accept on himself today, to fast, to take upon himself a fast. I didn't do that. I didn't see it. I think what's really significant here is the first thing that comes here is the warning about following medical professionals. I had an interchange with one of the rabbis in my community today about he sent me something, I don't know what he sent me, about how religious women, all the women of Israel should be careful to light Shabbos candles. And yeah, I'm all for it. I wrote back to him, enforce social distancing, keep the laws of the health ministry. And which is not to tell him I don't think women should light Shabbos candles. Let them light Shabbos candles, but like these people did. The first thing is take care. The second thing then is strengthen yourself in those mitzvot. Right? You want to show your faith. You want to show your belief in God. You want to show your faith in God. First thing, take care of yourself. So I was so happy when I saw this. So I took it. I printed it, and I actually live in a building with two synagogues. I kid you not, and it's not that big a building. So I took the this flyer and I printed it out and I put it on the door to each one of the shuls. That was this morning. By 2:00 this afternoon, they're both gone. Why? I mean, let's think about it. The idea somehow that we're giving people the ability to choose impinges upon these people's, I hate to say these people's, but these rabbis' idea of what it means to be faithful. For them to be faithful, faith has nothing to do with choice. But of course, and here I'm going to quote Milton, reason is also choice. Reason and faith come together. Reason and faith come together. I have to think about the Milton passage. That is, we don't actually show our faith by submitting. We show our faith by making choices for ourselves. That's actually real faith. This is the same rabbi who actually sent me this kind of very messianic paragraph about these are the end of days, and terrible things, of course, will happen in the end of days. And again, okay, great. You want to be a messianist now? I also believe the Messiah will come. But the first thing to do is to be careful and not get distracted. I think what the good thing that comes out of all this for us is it really strips down for us, or it takes away kind of all of the institutional garbage or the institutional filters that make it impossible for us to see what being a faithful person really is. Because we can identify this response of the rabbi downstairs, and we can all acknowledge that it's absurd, because in the name of being religious, it actually takes away people's free choice and therefore takes away the possibility of real faith. It's really, the rabbi, it's just self-aggrandizing, and it's dangerous, and it's intellectual laziness, because it's easiest just to submit. So, I always say to people who talk to me like I'm talking to you now, don't forget, don't don't rant so much that you forget yourself, and you forget that you're also part of this and you have a role to play in this. And I think we can all remember that. When my students showed up yesterday in class, and somebody on Twitter wrote they showed up in class, I meant on Zoom. When my students showed up on Zoom, I congratulated them for really kind of being heroic, because this is a time in which everything we do, there's a certain kind of heroism. And we haven't even yet registered the extent to which this is so unprecedented and so stressful and so unknown. So when 30 students come together on a Zoom conference to talk about Milton, that is a form of heroism. And we should make that clear to the people around us as much as we can. In families, it's very hard. In professional situations, maybe a little bit easier. It's hard in any kind of context. I remember there's a Mishnah in Pirkei Avot that talks about how when God gave the Torah, or when God made man, he not only made him B'Tselem Elokim, in the image of God, but he told him as much. Meaning, I'm giving you this gift and I'm telling you about it. And I was extrapolating from it. I'm not sure it's exactly parallel, but how important it is these days actually to caption what we're doing or what we're feeling. Meaning, if you feel a kind of gift of generosity to your students, and I think anybody in this situation who's genuinely teaching feels that generosity, say it. Tell your students that they're being heroes. When your daughter at 3 o'clock in the afternoon cleans the floor while everybody's sleeping, caption it. It's give your children, give your family, give your community, give them that caption, that extra bit of love, by explaining to them how you feel about them. We have that choice. That's real faith. Real faith is choice. It's a time now, I think, where everything gets stripped down and we have time to think and feel and maybe have the kinds of conversations we weren't willing to have at other times. Anyway, Corona Diary, Jerusalem, Day 5.